Okay, let's wipe the whole playfield down with naphtha, and that will make sure that there's no oils or anything. Like I've said numerous times, I'm not sanding or anything. I just don't think that the paint will take it. Kind of the cool thing about naphtha is you can see how it's going to look. So in the middle here, that's going to look pretty nice, I think, when it gets the clear on it. So just wipe down the whole playfield, make sure that all of the oils and waxes or anything else is off of there. Now I've already done this to this playfield a few times because I touched it up, and so I want to make sure there's no oils and things on it before I start touching it up. Okay, I think we're good. So we'll let that evaporate. Now what we want to do is we're going to level. We want this playfield to be perfectly level. So the clear coat is somewhat self-leveling. If you have it on a perfectly YouTube edits. If you have it on a perfectly flat playfield, it will smooth out flat. If it's got a little bit of a rise to it, of course it'll drip and you'll get like little gatherings at the bottom of wherever that pool settles. So we want to make sure this is perfectly flat. So I have these big level. Now that looks pretty good there. Actually, I checked it earlier and it was okay. I don't trust non-technology, so let's get out this one. This will actually tell me exactly where I am. And one of the things that you have to watch out for is that playfields themselves are not perfectly flat. So there'll be little divots and little rises here and there. So I always kind of spot check. So that's just right on the cusp. See, this doesn't even sit flat. Let's try it there. That's good. That's pretty good. I don't think we'll get any better than that. How about this way? So it does want to go this way a little bit. So I have the shims. You can't see what I'm seeing, but this is probably pretty boring. Okay, I think we're level. Pretty good. I think all of our stuff has evaporated. Just because I had my grubby hands all over this, I'm going to wipe it down just one more time real quick, and then we'll start spraying clear. Oh yeah, there was one more thing. This isn't me being arrogant or anything, but Caleb actually had mentioned, he says, I should get you to sign the playfield when you're done. Do it down here where nobody will see it. There you go, Caleb. Signed with my chicken scratch. Okay, let's do the clear. Shake the crap out of your cans. Shake your cans. So this is just going to be really light over the whole thing. Oh, good. I stuck my hand right in the test area. And I think just because I did so much here, I'm just going to give this a little bit extra. Not much. Okay, that looks pretty good. It looks sort of like an orange peel, and that's going to be expected on this because there isn't very much on there. But this stuff will really relax out, and when we come back out, this won't be as defined orange peel as it will be. So we'll let this dry probably about an hour, and then I'll come back and we'll hit it again. Got to shake the can again. Coat 2. So this is, it's dry-ish to the touch. There's a couple places where it's a little bit thicker and that's a little bit tackier, but for the most part it's dry. So let's do our second coat. So again, I'm going to put just a little bit more in the middle where I sanded. That's probably good. Okay, I think that's good for our second coat. So when this dries, and we're going to let it dry even more, so probably another hour and a half, and then we'll come back and we'll give it one good solid, thick, gooey, thick, milky looking coat. That doesn't sound good. YouTube edit, here we go. So we'll come back in a minute, actually probably more like an hour. We'll give it a really thick, super thick, crazy thick coat. YouTube edits. Okay, got ahead of myself. Actually, this step, we're going to do, we're going to focus on spraying in the problem areas. We're going to target those areas and try to fill up a little bit with clear where they're like the little divots and things like that. We talked about this. You know what I'm doing. I didn't, but you do. You're watching this. I'm making it up as I go along. Okay. So let's focus on those then. As I've been spraying previously, it's going down and it looks like orange peel, right? This, as we spray it this time, I want it thick. I want a nice glossy surface of this. It will discolor. It will get sort of cloudy and hazy, but that will go away as it dries because this isn't enough to make it stay hazy permanently. So, okay, I'm going to just shoot the middle section because I have another camera set up and you can kind of zoom in on that. We can see it, and then I'll do the other ones off camera, and then we'll come back and see where we're at. Now all of this is going to shrink down and looks a little puddly, but as it dries, it's going to shrink down and it'll seem like I didn't put any on at all. It'll just be a little shinier. Okay, so I'll cut this and we'll come back when this dries and have a look. 24 hours later. Okay, so the last clip you saw, I was spraying the inserts. And after I was done with that, and I was kind of packing up here for the night, it was still wet, but I noticed, you know, I could probably put a little bit more on there. So I ended up putting, you saw how much I was adding. I ended up putting about that much more on. So about twice is what you saw me add. And I think that we're coming along. It needs a lot more clear though. So we got a little ways to go. This Varathane really shrinks down, as I've mentioned before. So what looks like it might cover it, and then it goes and flattens down, and you're like, hey, where'd all my clear go? And as you can see, our orange peel sort of surface, that has really mellowed out as well. And now we've kind of got this matte finish. And we could actually, if we wanted to at this point, we could give that a light sand with some fine grit paper, and then we could take some something like a Novus 2, and we could actually buff that up to a nice shine if we wanted to, but we don't want to, not yet. We want more clear. Okay, so going forward on this video, you see me spray enough clear. I'm going to do one more video shot of me doing a thick, heavy coat, so you can see kind of how the whole thing kind of turns white and kind of scary, like, oh, I'm ruining it, but we're not yet anyway. So you can get an idea how much to put down when I'm talking about the heavy clears. And then I think after that, I'm going to go back and hit my target spots again on top of the thick clear layer, because I think I need to raise a little bit more up around. I was going to do 2 coats of the target area, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the whole thing with a thick, and then we'll see where we are at that point. There's going to be another thick, probably, there's probably going to be 4 thick coats in all, if I can push it that far. But anyway, so I'll film it one more time, and then after that, when that dries, I'll do a little video bit, and we can kind of do an update to see where we are and how much farther we need to go. And if I need to spray clear, I'll just say, hey, I'm spraying another thick clear, and then we'll come back when it dries and take a look at it, because you don't need to see me doing that stuff. Okay, so let's spray a thick coat of clear. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the playfield, I'm going to look at the reflection, and I want to make sure that everywhere is kind of equally covered. There's a few places like right here where there's a little, it looks more orange peely than sort of liquidy. So we will just kind of hit some of those sections again, because I want this whole thing to kind of be a puddle of stuff. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And it looks like, I I think maybe since I'm doing this, I'm going to hit a couple of these inserts just to see if I can get a little bit more on there. So you can see how well, you know, it's really changed color on us. But that will all, at this stage, because there's not a lot on there, that will all go away. It won't discolor it permanently. Now, if we were to do this like 15 times, yeah, it would. Okay, so let's let this dry and we will see where that gets us.